When it's me and somebody else, it's my responsibility to work out. But when it's you and someone else, my ass better ride your dick like it's my job, Lisa.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And Palm Springs, this trip for the Salt Lake City ladies, do you think it's going better or worse than when they were at Trixie Motel so far?
I think probably worse, and that's because of this Bronwyn versus Lisa Barlow blowout, which I guess we could have all seen coming.
Heather's allowed to tell you two how she feels about me, and that's totally cool, and you guys have to listen, but I'm not allowed to tell anybody how I feel.
I feel it was written on the walls and especially kind of alluded to how they've been talking about each other in the press so far. We, fingers crossed, are going to be speaking to Bronwyn very soon to get her takes on all of it. But it's funny how Heather's in the middle of it, because I wasn't expecting that.
This morning, Bronwyn invited me over to her house. I assumed it was because she wanted to make up and just move forward. But I was invited for her to tell me how I'm a shitty person.
Yeah, the Heather situation is really confusing me because at the end of the day, the only reason that I, as a viewer, perceive them to be fighting and not getting along is because Heather thinks that she's two-faced and messy. But, and I love my girl Heather, but I'm struggling to sort of figure out where she was messy or two-faced, because every time Bronwyn mentions that, oh, well, I said what I said about Whitney to Whitney's face, or I did this, or I did that, there's always a receipt, and those editors are so good about showing a receipt every time. The girl has a fantastic memory.
You didn't feel like maybe I should check in with Bronwyn before I go on a trip with her.
Did you check in on me? Whitney and I went to blows. I feel like Whitney's lying about me. Did you check in on me and say...
I absolutely did.
Look at how quiet I stayed about Jen.
I don't want to insert myself. Listen to me.
I don't like being accused of things. If I do something, I will take full accountability. I do not like my character question. I don't like when people accuse me of doing things I didn't do.
I love that for her. It's so good to have, and that's really crucial for Housewives to be able to be even when she pulled up with Lisa, I did come for you immediately after. Roll the tapes. She is very clocked in with that. And I think Heather maybe was underestimating that, or not expecting someone to. I think she expected Bronwyn to be more on a defense of a blowout versus just what are you talking about? Because I am confused why she's so mad. I think mainly because Bronwyn spilled the beans to Angie that Lisa and Heather were talking about her.
I think that was part of it. And I also believe that Heather was very triggered by Bronwyn not getting along with Brittany, who Heather brought into the group. I guess she felt like Bronwyn was being shady and rude about the whole Jared or Aaron.
Bronwyn gave Brittany a hug against her will. That was kind.
I thought that was kind too. And honestly, it's not just Bronwyn who's over the whole Jared, Aaron, Austin situation. Everyone's over it. So I don't really think that the way Bronwyn has been reacting around it has been that much of an outlier.
No, I don't think so either. And I'm I'm very confused. Lisa even isn't that crazy over Brittany. I think she just kind of likes to yell at the Osmond.
Yeah, right.
Because I think she enjoys doing that more. She's Brittany could come and go. I just got some things to say.
It's kind of like using a fry as a vehicle for a really, your favorite sauce. And Lisa's favorite sauce is yelling at the Osmond and sending him mean text messages. And Brittany is the French fry for her to consume that sauce.
And I French fry, so that really does track for it. I love that Brittany's such a singer too. Have you been seeing all the videos going viral of her belting out?
I'm obsessed. It started with her operatically screeching down the slopes, which I loved that scene. And then I think that the internet was wait, was that Phantom of the Opera she was doing down the slopes, or what was it?
Something like that.
The theater nerds of the Bravo fandom figured it out, and then I think they went on a deep dive and found some videos, and then she posted videos herself, and now we are celebrating Brittany for the Broadway star that she has. Has she been on Broadway, or is it just local Salt Lake City theater moments?
All the world's a stage. So
true.
She's been singing, and that's all I can say. She's been singing as much as Lisa's been FaceTiming. We know that is true. What did you think about that moment?
Of course. Back from the bathroom.
Are you thinking talking about why you weren't here?
Why are we doing this right now? I don't know, because you're... Oh my gosh.
We miss you. We wish you were here.
Have so much fun. It looks gorgeous.
Look, I love Lisa Barlow so much. I mean, I know I was just singing Bronwyn's praises, and Bronwyn and Lisa Barlow are currently not getting along, but I love all my Salt Lake City girls. And I just think Lisa has a special way of knowing how to press and push buttons. And I do think that she missed Heather. I think that she wanted Heather on the trip, but I also think she knew that if she FaceTimed Heather and Bronwyn just happened to walk into that situation, that it was going to ignite and instigate Bronwyn. But if that was her goal, her wish, her dream, desire, I'm glad that she accomplished it, because it did make for a great scene. She was kind of like the French fry for the delicious sauce that Bronwyn brought.
That's true.
One thing I love about Bronwyn is I think she said it a few episodes ago, like, get your words right and tight, get your words tight, get your words right.
Yes.
It was. I loved the phrase.
She said that to Brittany.
She said it to Brittany. Yes. And she's very good with her receipts. She is very good with her words.
I know. I almost wonder if some of the ladies, because Bronwyn, when we first met her, was really kind of just like a fun gal and like silly and like quirky with her couture. I feel like some of the ladies maybe underestimated how good of a housewife she will be off the bat. You know what I mean? Because she's like, oh, I have receipts. I have time. I will yell at you in a bikini. Like, I'll storm off. I'll have my husband maybe kick you out. Like, I'm ready to go toe to toe while buying $1.5 million jewels.
I'm obsessed. Wait, speaking of her husband, what did you think of his involvement at the end?
I told you I wasn't going to deal with this with these people.
I know, and
I think I told you specifically her that I wouldn't do this. Mm-hmm. Either I would leave or they could leave. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting there.
I know.
I will say, what I love about Bronwyn and Todd's relationship, before we get to how Todd was involved in this episode, I think it was last episode, that Bronwyn was sending him the play-by-play of their night. And that is so me coded. Like, I am the one texting my husband when the situation is going to fucking shit. And you just like need your person to vent to. And you would think, I feel like in most housewife to house husband relationships, you would think, oh, she's crazy because he's probably not even reading these text messages. But then seeing them interact together, I know he's reading all those text messages, and I know that he's enjoying hearing about her night, because I feel like he is I feel like they're just so invested in each other, and I love the relationship.
I think they're invested in each other. I think he enjoys reading them because he cares about Bronwyn. I feel he's not one of the husbands that's like happy to, like, he's like, okay, you go do Housewives. I don't want it cringing on my life. You know what I mean? Like, he films with her and stuff like that. But that's where I think his anger of this trip, of course, he wants to defend Bronwyn, but I think he's really like, I got an Airbnb and a private jet for this race I want to see. Who is like, he's kind of wants to be like Mary Cosby. Like, who is Lisa? Why is this happening to me? Can we wrap it up? Like, he kind of wants no part of it.
Yeah.
Like Danielle Cabral, Jennifer Aiden, when she was making fun of Danielle Cabral, I want a part of it. I want a part of it. That is very much his energy. I think he wants to move on from this all.
That's a good point and distinction. He does ride so hard for Bronwyn, and he cares about how she feels in these new situations that she is in, but he doesn't want to be part of the drama. And he cut right to the point.
All right, dude, this is getting out of control. Lisa and Bronwyn.
What's going on?
All the bullshit. I told Bronwyn I wasn't coming to spend the weekend here to sit through a bunch of arguments. So it's got to stop. Lisa's got to stop, or you guys got to go.
You let John know if you and Lisa can't get it together. Well, if Lisa can't get it together, because John was being such a sweet, silent angel, as he always is. A sweet, silent, shirtless angel. Look, okay, first of all, we got to talk about these shirtless house husbands.
One thing I always say, you judge a straight man by their wife, period. And we crushed it. We all crushed it. Way above our weight. Way above our weight. Not way above our weight. We outkicked our coverage.
I'm going to make a different point. I'm going to make a different point. I think they outkicked their coverage.
Because Danny knows and I'm not ashamed of it. I am so obsessed with Sean.
You are.
His tight t-shirts and his little tiny shorts, this whole that is my boy. But I wasn't expecting John to look so good without his shirt on. Like, it was giving youthful. It was giving like, please send me a DM. Like, I don't know. He was just
okay, Lisa Barlow.
so tall. Lisa, I'm not coming for your man, but maybe I am. He was just like so tall and muscular and lean and hot to me. And the way that he speaks so calmly and eloquently.
He really is the calm app. Yeah.
He is. He's like a living, breathing calm app with like muscles and abs. And he just, I don't know, he like looks so good to me. I love you, John Barlow. Honestly, I love all the men, from Todd to John to Sean to Seth, who is just the whole Seth and Meredith thing. That I was not expecting that.
Meredith, I have some bad news. I have to leave early to go back to Ohio.
What do you mean?
I gotta leave first thing tomorrow morning.
No.
Yeah, I didn't get that as much.
Well,
I like that it was kind of like, I feel they were both like maybe jet lagged, because it was like very delayed anger where Seth is like, I have to leave early. And Meredith is like, why do you have to leave? It was almost like people when you play like Barbies and you're like, do. I was like, what is going on here? And I don't know what all of his, like, it was confusing me. I hope they're happy, and I hope she can hear him with her AirPods Pro.
They did my tests and they said I do have hearing loss and recommended the hearing aids. And I think it's the best thing I ever did. And they also work as AirPods.
Wait, we're gonna get into the AirPods / hearing aids. But I was like, even though it was kind of giving Barbie, I did understand it, because even if they were jet lagged and their reactions to it all could have seemed delayed. I do like your take on that, because you're so accurate. But I absolutely hate it when I have to go on a work trip, or my husband has to go on a work trip. It's just like, it's like annoying. Like, I understand the frustration, and it's like, ugh, it's necessary, it's obligatory, they have to do it, but it still like annoys you. I do think that Seth and Meredith will survive this, because Seth has been traveling for work and living in different states for quite some time.
Survive? He's leaving a trip a day early. I think they'll make it through.
But sometimes, Danny, I feel in those moments with my husband, I feel like I won't make it through. I mean, and I do make it through. The other side, but it's annoying.
But you know, it's gonna be hard for Meredith.
What?
If Seth, John, and Lisa are all on the same flight home.
Oh my God, I know.
And it's just Meredith with Angie and Whitney.
That's her worst nightmare. Wait, but speaking of Angie and Meredith possibly being alone together, this whole situation with Sean.
Sean went on this podcast and made a statement about Brooks, saying that I'm basically using him as like a pawn to deflect from my own wrongdoing.
I feel like we kind of breezed over that a little bit, but the accusation is pretty, it's pretty bad. Like, basically what Sean said is that Meredith is using Brooks and her advocacy for the LGBTQIA plus community as a way to make up for allegedly spreading a rumor that Sean hooks up with men. And that just felt real. That's giving like, you're dirty. Like,
and also I'm curious. I hope that because I didn't like that they just flashed back to that conversation. I hope maybe in the next episode they're able to talk more through that.
It was hurtful to me, in all honesty, when you used my son and said that I was playing him as a pawn to deflect from something that I didn't even do.
And I feel like if Angie was involved in the conversation, my assumption should be like, Sean, I'd go apologize. You know what I mean? Like, I think because she didn't like when Electra got talked about, so I feel she wouldn't like Meredith's kid to be talked about.
Wait, that's a really good point, but something tells me Sean and Angie had some pillow talk about that situation before it was brought up on camera. And right?
Yeah.
I feel like they're pretty ride or die for each other. They tell each other everything for the most part. That's
true.
The vibe that I get. So I don't know. But
right,
maybe it was retaliatory because of the Electra thing, and maybe she sees Meredith and Lisa as one.
That's, that could be, they're like, if you guys are going to defend each other, go have this. So I don't know. We'll see. Do you think John and Lisa are actually going to leave?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
I want them to leave. I want to see more of Lisa and John in bathing suits.
You know what I could see is more likely? Heather pulling a Jill Zarin.
Oh my God. Wait, that would be genius, actually. I hope she does that.
I hope she does too.
Because that would send Bronwyn to a total different dimension. Wait, do you think that... Now that I'm thinking about all the feuds going on, I'm like, wait, which one haven't we talked about? Whitney and Lisa. Do you think that... Well, and the husbands. Do you think that Justin deserves an apology, or that Lisa deserves an apology from Justin?
Another reason why it's awkward is because Lisa wants an apology from Justin. And Justin and I both agree that we feel like he did not do anything wrong.
Because I do love how he ended his little sit down with John Barlow. Like, you know what? I'm gonna have to think about that one.
I think Lisa would like an apology, and I feel like she deserves an apology.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that one.
I know. I would say just apologize. You know what I mean? Like, do you really want to be? And like, do you want to be like a house husband having a feud with a housewife? Just apologize. And then if you want to still pour out Vita Tequila, pour it out off camera. Just apologize to be the bigger person, or, the person.
Speaking of pouring out Vita, when everyone was offered a Vita shot, when Angie was like, oh, let me offer a Vita
Olive
shot.
Branch.
Hi, everyone. I just got some Vita Tequila for y'all. Get the party started.
Amazing.
Hi, girls. Hi. Would you like a little shot of Vita Tequila, ma'am?
Ooh, I will take one. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Let's just get it.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Everyone took them, but didn't really take the whole shot. I was so confused. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but when I did, I don't like shots. So,
well, I know a lot of people. Well, it's funny. A lot of people use shots as sippers sometimes, and maybe that was kind of like what I got from it. Where because Angie was like, "Oh, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna pour a full big shot," and people probably like, "We haven't eaten yet."
But didn't you feel like the editing and the way they did the close-ups of the shots, they were trying to tell a certain...
They were trying to make... I haven't tried Vita, so I can't speak to that.
I'm sure it's good. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm done talking about Lisa's tequila because I want to talk about her sunglasses. She had 97 pairs of sunglasses, and it kind of reminded me of you. I felt... You would have so much fun picking out the three glasses that she would want to bring on the trip with her.
Because I know what she means, because it's a hard thing, because all of my sunglasses go with different outfits, but they could go with the same ones. And you think they don't take up that much space, but in the cases, it is a hard thing, but it's always worth the packing because you never know what style or vibe you want to go with. So I did like Lisa's journey with that. And she can't go wrong because I love all of the sunglasses that she had. I remember Heather packs a lot of sunglasses too, and I do like that.
I feel like Angie K has really led the charge of making sunglasses.
Zooey Deschanel dressed up as her. So there we have that.
And I feel like it's just becoming not just Angie K's thing, but kind of a thing for all the women of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Because if you've noticed, Whitney has also been stepping up her sunglasses game, kind of leaning into very
bigger, ostentatious
territory. It's Whitney, and although I love it, I love the styles on her. It is kind of giving Angie K cosplay, but I love it. I mean, Angie K really revolutionized shaded sun.
I feel also because she gets so memeified and so known by it. I wonder if everyone's like, okay, people like this. They're gonna be going so much. People are just gonna start having umbrellas in front of their eyes to make the bigger splash than Angie K. Which I'm excited for a sunglass, a subtle sunglass off of non-subtle sunglasses.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that episode.
Well, maybe we'll see if they get into that next week with hopefully Lisa and John still there because I need more of this in Bronwyn. We need to work it out or to continue fighting.